dear children. I welcome you all to your English class. I hope you all are healthy and happy. So children, for today's English lesson, we are going to continue the first chapter, the sentence from your Mastering Grammar book. And you already know that we have finished most of our lessons, okay, in our previous videos. We were doing the interrogative sentences now. We had earlier done the declarative and imperative sentences. We have also finished the first 4 exercises A, B, C and D from your book, right? So today we will be continuing with the WH questions that we were doing. We have already done some of the WH questions like who, whose, whom, right? And then we were doing what and which. So we were on which word, how we had used them, which is used when we ask about things or particular things in a group, or we have to select something from a particular group. So we will clear that with some more examples, so we can move to the next interrogative sentences, like when we have to use interrogative adjectives and interrogative adverbs. Okay, so let's get with some examples first. I told you in our previous lesson, I told you about 2 of it, like which is your pen, now what we are doing here, we are talking about a particular thing with the use of word which. So I am asking among these pens, maybe, which is your pen, right? So that's why I am talking about a group and I am asking about one or a particular thing. That's why we are using which, okay? So again, which of these paintings, these 2 examples are already done in your previous video lesson, but still I am continuing from here only so that you can have a continuation. Which of those paintings are yours, okay? Sorry, is yours, right? Because I told you I am talking about particular thing. That's why I will have to use is and not are. Although we can see paintings is plural, right? But we cannot use are here because we are asking for one. We are asking about a particular thing. That's the reason we will have to use is. Okay? So sorry, here you will not be using which, is and which of instead. Which of those paintings is yours? Number 3 now, children. Which of you gave the application? Now here I am in these 2 sentences I talked about things, okay? I talked about things and not people. Okay? Now in the next 2 sentences I will be talking about persons, because I told you that what and which can be used for both persons and things. So here we are. Which of you, here I am asking about the person, which of you gave the application? So I am asking about the person, I am asking or inquiring of the person involved here, that who gave it. Okay, so which of you gave the application? This can be used here for person also. In this sentence we have used it for a person, for asking about a person. Now which of the boys is ready to play? Okay, so see, again I am asking about one of the boy, or I am asking about the particular boy who is ready to play. Okay, so here in both of these sentences we have used which for persons and not for things, because we are inquiring about persons here, boys, and here you is obviously the person only we are talking about. Here we had seen the things were involved, pen, paintings, we were asking about those things. So which can be used for both persons and things. Okay. Now moving to interrogative adjectives, they are not as elaborate as described like this, interrogative pronouns. But yes, we know about interrogative adjectives, and we will be reading about interrogative adjectives, how they are used to form questions in the adjectives chapter. Okay, you have that in your syllabus. We will be reading about interrogative adjectives in detail in that chapter, number 3, I guess. Yes, it's chapter 3 from your book, the adjectives chapter. So children, I'll be just touching it. Actually, I won't explain much because we will be doing that later on. So yes, now I'm talking about interrogative adjectives here. I have talked about interrogative pronouns. Now interrogative adjectives. You know adjectives are descriptive words, right? Adjectives describe a noun or a pronoun. They are descriptive words. So they will be asking, these adjectives, they will be asking about the nouns. Okay, it's clear that interrogative adjectives usually ask about nouns only. So as it is interrogatives, that means it will have WH word in it. So let's give you some examples. Like, what book are you reading? Okay, what book are you reading? So here the word what is talking about the book, about a thing, right? About a noun. So this is an adjective and interrogative adjective. So again, which girl is your sister? Which girl is your sister? So see, I am talking about a person. I have used the word which, and it is actually describing, or it is asking about the girl. It is inquiring about the noun. That's why here it is working as an interrogative adjective. Okay. Now number 3, where or whose pencil? Okay, whose pencil? So again, whose pencil is this? So I am asking about the pencil. Whose it is it? So this is working as an interrogative adjective because it is asking about a noun. Now children, again we will move to interrogative adverbs now. Okay, we have seen it. We have seen the interrogative pronouns. We have learned about interrogative adjectives, and now interrogative pronouns will be our next topic of discussion. So children, adverbs are words that qualify an adjective. That means that will modify or qualify an adjective, a verb or itself, right? Or an adverb. So with adverbs, we can use the words. Which are the words that can be called interrogative adverbs? Where, why, how. Okay, all the words which are not even WH words. HOW can be used. We use HOW in interrogative sentences, right? So definitely it is not a WH word, but still we are using it because it is an interrogative adverb. Okay, we can use these words for asking questions. They are the part of interrogative adverb. So when asking about time, okay, then how long, how soon, all these words, children, are your interrogative adverbs. We will be discussing about this as well in your adverbs chapter. Not in this one in detail, okay? Just you need to know about this, that these also interrogative adverbs also ask questions. These are also used to ask questions, and these words can be used, okay? Where, why, how, when, how long, how soon, okay? So children, now moving to the exercise that follows, that's on page number 11. Okay, change the following sentence into interrogative sentences by rearranging the order of words. Okay, I told you how we have to form interrogative sentences from statements. So we are going to do the same thing here, and you have to be very careful with the organization of the word. You have to write it in proper order. So let's get started with the exercise E. Okay, number E now. That's on page number 11 of your book. The first one is done for you. We will be doing from the next one, number 1. They are coming now. I am writing the question as well, because I want you to see yourself here how the statement is being changed into a question and interrogative sentence. Okay, so we will be writing the answer. They are coming now. What will be the answer? What did I tell you? The auxiliary verb will be coming first, are, and then the subject will move to the next place, shift to the next place, and coming now. Are they coming now becomes a question sentence. That means interrogative sentence. And obviously you have to place a question mark right at the end of the sentence. This completes our transformation. This completes our change. Now we have changed a statement into an interrogative sentence. Okay, I won't be doing this for each question. You have to understand yourself. I will be just telling you, he is playing with them. Okay, he is playing with them. So now is the auxiliary verb here, so it will be placed in the beginning. He comes right after the auxiliary verb. Is he playing with them? And this sentence ends with a question mark, right? Now number 3. History is her favorite subject. Now children, you have to be very careful how you choose your subject, okay? Not actually subjects like history or English, but the subject and predicate, okay? History is her favorite subject. So you can write, I told you that you have to place the auxiliary right in the beginning. Is here. Now some of you can choose history or her. You have to be very careful. We are talking about history. So is history, so we have to bring the subject right after the auxiliary verb. Is history her favorite subject? Okay. So this completes the question, and then we have question mark right at the end of it. Done? Now moving to the 4th question. Do not forget the question mark, children, because it is an important element, it is an important feature for interrogative sentences. Okay, it has to be there. Otherwise, it won't be considered a question. Now number 4. They will come at 4 o'clock. Number 4. We are doing exercise E, so again I will be writing it down there. They will come at 4 o'clock. The answer to this will be coming here. It's an auxiliary verb. Come is the main verb here. Will they come? They is shifted, means is placed just after the auxiliary verb. Will they come at 4 o'clock? Okay. So question mark again, children. Now number 5. You are Mr. Gupta. This is a statement. You are Mr. Gupta. Now, I told you have to bring the auxiliary verb in the front. Are, here it's acting as the main verb also. So, it will be coming in the front only. Are, and then you again. You is the subject, so it will be placed after are. Are you Mr. Gupta? Okay. Number 6. Tanu and Manu will come to the wedding. To the wedding, okay? We can see the subject is right here, Tanu and Manu, it's being talked about them, and will is our auxiliary. So will, Tanu and Manu come to the wedding. Okay, children, and question mark is placed right after it. So yes, here is the answer, and remember to write the first letter of the sentence in capital letter. Whenever a new sentence is beginning, you have to write that in capital letter. Now children, moving towards number 7. The movie was boring. Number 7. The movie was boring. So here boring, was boring. So was is the auxiliary. Was the movie boring? So here the word was is also acting as the main verb because boring becomes the adjective here. The movie was boring. How was the movie? Was the movie boring? So here is the question mark. Number 8. They are at home. So I want you to think of this answer on your own. Then you can see the answer that I write, and then you can say, yes, I am correct. I learned it today. They are at home. So what do you think the answer will be? Please think on your own because you have already finished 7 sentences. I helped you with all. Now you can help me with this. Okay, so obviously here will be a full stop. And now you have to tell me what can be the answer. So I hope most of you got it correct. So are they at home? And then question mark because it's a question. It's an interrogative sentence. She is our new neighbor. So children, I wrote the question here to help you understand how it's changing, okay? Not for all the exercises, I will be writing the questions, but you will have to write the question. Now, is she, because is the auxiliary, is she our new neighbor? Now, this is our question number 9. Number 10 now. Meetu has invited you to the party. Meetu has, this is a statement. Meetu has invited you to the party. So this is ending with a full stop because it's a statement. And has Meetu, see, has is an auxiliary verb. I told you about all the words that we use in auxiliary. Has Meetu invited you to the party? Okay, so ends with a question mark because it's a question. I hope children this thing is clear to you, okay, because we have now solved an exercise also, so this must be clear. Now children, we will be beginning with exclamatory sentences, okay. We have finished the interrogative sentences with this exercise. Now we will be moving towards exclamatory sentences, okay. So now what is the function of exclamatory sentences? They express strong emotions. I told you in your previous video lessons also about these kind of sentences. They express or they help communicate strong emotion. When you are very excited, when you are very happy, when you are very sad, okay, when you have admiration for something, when you appreciate something, when you wonder or when you are in shock, you use these kind of sentences to express strong emotions, your feelings. Okay, so these kind of sentences are used to express your feelings. So we will be first writing down the definition, and then we will move towards understanding this through examples. Okay. Now children, I hope you are done with this. Exclamatory sentences help in communicating strong emotions. Of feelings of what? Of appreciation, admiration. When you admire something, when you appreciate something, appreciation, surprise, wonder or shock. Okay. These are our main feelings, right? These are our strong feelings or shock, right? So, for example, now you should also remember two of the important features before moving to the examples. First, this will begin with what or how. Generally, these kind of sentences begins with what and how. Okay, when you have to turn any statement or any question into these kind of sentences, exclamatory sentences, you have to use the word what and how. Begins with what and how, or and it is followed by an exclamation mark. Okay, you will have to use an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. So what is an exclamation mark? If you don't know, so this thing is called an exclamation mark. You might have seen these things a lot of time in place where some characters are surprised or when they express themselves, then we use this mark. Okay, so begin with what and how, and it is followed by an exclamation mark. So this is about exclamatory sentences. Now we will be looking at some of the examples. We will try to understand the structure of exclamatory sentences. Okay. Now moving to the structure, this is the definition and two of the important features of these kind of sentences. Now the structure or how the words are placed in these kind of sentences. Now for this, again I will be writing a statement first like I did in the interrogative sentences, because sometimes or a lot of times we are asked to turn or change the statements into exclamatory sentences. So let me write the first statement first. He is a beautiful baby. So this is obviously a statement. This is not a question, this is not a command, this is not imperative, interrogative, nothing. So he is a beautiful baby. This is a statement. Statement means what? Affirmative statement or declarative, you can say. He is a beautiful baby. So how do we change this? How do we convert this or turn it into an exclamatory sentence? You have to understand, you will have to add a word like water house. So I am adding what here. Okay. Then this will be added, and these two words you need to notice. You need to observe these two words. He and is placed at the end of the sentence. So, what a beautiful baby first. You are not using these two words now. Beautiful baby. And then the subject will appear here, and last will be the auxiliary verb. Okay, or the main verb, whatever you want to call it in a sentence. Here it's acting as the main verb only. So the verb will go at the end. So we had seen that this word is added. We have added this one. Okay, this one remains the same, and the subject comes here. The subject about whom I am talking, the subject will be coming here, and then we will be using the auxiliary verb. Okay children, so this is your arrangement. That means what? The subject of the statement sentence or the declarative sentence and the auxiliary verb will be placed one after the another at the end and not in the beginning. We will be adding the words what and how. We can use these two words in an exclamatory sentences. Now if I tell you one more example, the painting is wonderful. The painting is wonderful. Now what did I tell you children? This thing is the subject, this is the auxiliary verb. What are we to do with this one? We are to place this at the end. Now because this is an adjective, we are telling about the painting that this is wonderful. This word is describing the painting. This is an adjective. So we will be mostly using how, the word how. Okay? How. Now this adjective is just coming right after the word how that we have added. Okay? Here we will be placing the adjective. That means we will be placing how wonderful. Okay, so let me write this one also below only so that you don't have any confusion. How adjective can't be a sentence. How wonderful. Now I told you the subject will come first. So the subject here is which one? The painting. How wonderful the painting, and then I told you is will be coming the auxiliary verb with an exclamation mark. Not to forget the exclamation mark, because I told you all exclamatory sentences end with exclamation mark. So children, I hope this part is clear. Okay. Now what did I tell you about these kind of sentences? That they begin with how or what and end in exclamation mark. You don't need to forget this, as you don't need to forget that we have to use question mark in interrogative sentences. Okay children, so you have an exercise that follows. We will be doing that exercise in our next video. We won't be attempting that right now. And let me give you some more examples so you can understand this better. So if I said the weather is, number 3 example, the weather is so calm. Okay, is calm I can say. Okay, is calm. So how calm, I am using this adjective right here. Now the weather is the subject. How calm the weather, and then we are ending it with an auxiliary is. Weather is. With this children, we are done with today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something new. and you must practice all these kind of sentences until we meet again with our following video lesson, and where we will be doing the rest of the exercises. Till then, my children, please take care of yourself and your family. Bye-bye.